From NAB in Las Vegas, Mapcreator offers both static and video maps with lots of customization options for broadcast. This is MacVoices. This edition of MacVoices is supported by the MacVoices Dispatch, our weekly newsletter to keep you up on all the latest from MacVoices. Watch or listen to MacVoices straight from your email client. Sign up at macvoices.com/newsletter and stay up to date. MacVoices is in Las Vegas for NAB. Folks, I stopped by a booth that has the banner displayed for a Best of Show nominee, and those are always good booths to stop by because it means that something is always high quality. Maggie is going to tell us about Mapcreator and what you can do with it and why you would want to. Maggie, it's great to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
So tell me about Mapcreator and how you ended up with the Best of Show nominee.
Yeah, so this is in fact the first time that we're here at the NAB. We have been around already since over a decade as a mapping module focused on newsrooms most of the time. And now especially we've been trying to discover the broadcast industry as well, as our product can be used for on-air live reporting when it comes to creating locator maps or breaking news reporting, election map reporting, basically anything that allows the reporter to have a visual support for the story that they're telling.
So the odds are that I've probably seen products from your software in local news reporting or national news reporting?
Yes, absolutely. It's being used already since several years. Either you can have a static image in the background that just stands there as a still while the news reporter is telling on what's happening in the story, but you can also use it as an interactive map that the anchor can interact with. So you can click on the map, you can pan around, zoom closer to a location to be able to focus really on what's happening in that story, or you produce map animations. So in the tool, you can decide on to having more of a global context. For example, you have a globe view and then you zoom in towards the location of where the story is happening. All those three file options, you can create them with Mapcreator.
So let's start from the ground up. Am I running software to do this? Is this in a browser? How's that working?
It's in a browser, so you don't need to download an app. You just need your user account, you need a password, you need an internet connection. You can create maps from any place in the world at any time of the day.
How about the data ingest? What formats or do you accept?
Yeah, so the cartographic background data, we are basing that on OpenStreetMap, and then on top of that you can add your own data. You can import GeoJSONs, KML, and GPX files, but also text files and Excel files, for example, that have latitude and longitude coordinates, or even address data.
So that was going to be where I went next. Zip code, lat long,
all that,
everything.
Exactly.
Okay.
Or you use the search function, the geocoding option that's available within the tool, so you don't necessarily need to have a data file ready to be imported. You can just use the Mapcreator tool and create a map from scratch without having your own import files.
Okay, so I've got my map data in, I've created what I want. How do I get it back out? What formats come out?
So that depends if you want to download it as a static file. We do static file options as images or vector files. SVGs preferably, as they're the best quality, as it's a vector file, so it doesn't lose any of the quality. And it would even be possible to import that in post-production tools such as Adobe Illustrator. So all of the layers that you get in the SVG files, they are still available in Illustrator, and you can make additional edits to it if that's necessary. You can download for the map animations MP4s or .mov files, or even JPEG and PNG sequences that can also again be imported in Adobe-like programs like After Effects if you want to do additional post-editing. But officially the promise is, and we definitely have users confirming it, that you don't need to post-edit the maps. The fact is that we want to be there to support the very busy journalists and the graphic designers. They don't have time to, work on crazy post-productions. Everything needs to really come out and be ready to be published to support the breaking news, the locator maps. And that's where our customization part comes in. So if you look at maps, the maps from CNN look different than the maps from Washington Post, for example, right? So the fonts, the color scheme that they're using, all that is different, and we already pre-customize it for them.
So let's go back for a second to the static maps. I find it interesting that you're not just giving me a TIFF or a JPEG or a PNG. You're actually giving me all the layers so that I can turn them on and off if I want.
Right.
So I can do a little customization in post if it becomes necessary, and I don't have to go back to your software.
You got it. Exactly like that.
Okay, so same question for the video part.
Yeah.
Am I getting an Adobe Premiere or After Effects native file?
Not a native file, so Adobe is quite secretive when it comes to the native files, but you are able to import them into After Effects and you can make additional edits to the files.
So I can take out layers again, same thing.
Absolutely.
Wow, that's impressive.
Thank you.
Pricing.
We work on yearly licenses with enterprise level customers. It mostly depends on the team size as well as how many custom templates the users want. Prices start at $7,000 yearly for the entire team and can go up to a couple of multiplications of that depending on how big the newsroom is.
Excellent. What kind of, I should say, what's the website where they can go to learn more?
I would say go to mapcreator.io and you find all of the information you need there.
Maggie, thank you so much for the time. Great product.
Thank you as well, Chuck. It was nice meeting you.
Nice to meet you.
Fine.
Folks, more from NAB in Las Vegas. I'm Chuck Joyner. This is MacVoices. Visit MacVoices.com for show notes and to connect with Chuck on social media. Get involved in our Facebook group or like our Facebook page, and get more out of your Apple tech with MacVoices Magazine, free on Flipboard and on the web. And if you find value in it all, consider supporting us through either our Patreon campaign at patreon.com/MacVoices or by making a one-time donation via the PayPal link on our front page and in the show notes of each episode. You will join these fine people who help bring you MacVoices. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media at backbeatmedia.com. Bandwidth provided by CacheFly at cachefly.com.